Is that right? Do they have a lot of... Are there a lot of blind jockeys? Is like... I'm pogging out of my mind here. Doesn't really make sense. Where would the barrier be? 15 minutes to you will be 10 minutes to someone else. Tier 2 locker storage? 5,000 Terra tokens. Oh, we have tons of Terra tokens. Can we get one of those? Where ancient traditions meet futuristic innovations. What fucking innovation is coming out of Kazakhstan? No offense, Kazakhstan, but I haven't heard of any innovation coming out of Kazakhstan ever. Some of them like skinned the kids and then like wore the skin, but you know you have to kill a lot of kids to make a whole skin suit for an adult. That's the main problem with like killing and skinning children. Not enough skin. You need to kill heaps of them and skin them. It's a lot of effort. Genocide torture museum. That sounds like a lovely place to visit. Oh yeah, we had a great day trip to the Genocide and Torture Museum. Jesus. Where ancient traditions meet futuristic innovations. What fucking innovation is coming out of Kazakhstan? No offense, Kazakhstan, but I haven't heard of any innovation coming out of Kazakhstan ever. The coverage just ends here. Oh shit, what have I done? Hello and welcome. We're back. We're back with the zoo. Yeah, you know what's going on at this point. I mean, is it a zoo? Yeah, it's a kind of zoo, right? Oh yeah, this cell. Okay. Let's think about this. So we want to do... I'm just going to get straight into it, eh? One thing we also would like to do is potentially have a way down from here. We could make a staircase on this side instead. Because the ramp is going to be, like, if we do another ramp, it's going to be really long. Maybe if you want to use the ramp, go this way. But if you're willing to use stairs, you can come this way. Gotta press free cam. The free cam is a lot better than the non-free cam. I don't like the defaults of this thing. The defaults just seem to be all the things I never wanted to do. Like terraform for me. Actually, sometimes I want it to flatten the ground. Sometimes I want it to remove the trees, but usually I don't. Usually I want to have full control over that kind of stuff. There we go. I think that looks fine. I think I need to do anything with this window. I think it just works. I think it just works fine like this. Keep it simple, right? But here I do want to have... Do we want it like right here? Probably like here-ish.
No, I think just here. We'll replace this with a... Oh, yeah, it does that little thing around the doorway. Maybe we'll replace this with this guy. You know what I've done, right? I've got this which I can use. Just bring this over. Because this is already like a reasonable width. Like I've measured this one already and I've done the work of making it, so let's make my life easier by copying something I've already done. Nice. These shitters. We need to use this, not that. I guess I like hit it somehow in that other one, but we don't want the curvy tops. We want the flat tops. Oop. Nice. Great. So here will be the stairs. That's how I say stairs, okay. It's definitely a legitimate way to say stairs. I don't know what we want to use here. Just use this. We could do it like these, couldn't I? 'Cause this is already at the right height. Just bring it on over. And we can be good with that. Ooh. Maybe this one should be like a step up. The trouble is I want this to line up with these tiles. So I kind of have to yeah, I just have to cover it up with something. I guess we'll just put some cladding on the outside of the wall here. Probably I'll have like windows along here too, right? I think all along there will be windows. Has this been stretched out at all? No, it hasn't. I think the point of this window is to be able to look down into the exhibit here. So we don't need it to be as tall as that other one. I think it would be cool if it's just like, oh, what if on this side the window is low, and on the other side the window is high. So on this side it would just be up there, because there's not much to look at out this way. Except that giant kind of light teal box. What would you call that? Cyan. It's a shade of cyan, I would say. Oop. I was laughed at, if you could believe it, the other day for describing something as being dark cyan. So as if somehow that's not a legitimate color. It is a legitimate color, I'll have you know. It's a nice color too. Although, I mean, I like most colors, so I don't know. Me saying a color is nice really means very much. Yeah, put both of these down and then do this. That way we can make sure they're lined up with one another. I guess we need to do that a bit. I want it lined up with the edge of the wall there, but I also need it to cover that. Yeah, perfect. And let's also do the middle bit, which would be a bin door, which is easy to do like this. Great. Now we just copy that over a bajillion times. I guess we need a middle pillar as well. This one could be quite thin. Oh. Well, the problem is that these aren't aligned then. Okay, what if we delete those and now copy this over? That's better. Okay, good. Come on, let me do the thing. I want to do the thing. There we go. And now we copy that over a bajillion times. I think I'm going to split this into its own group and make it easier to work with it. It's usually what I do. Do 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 do. I feel like on the ends we need something slightly different. think we do just raise this up so we can do the thing about mountains, whatever it was. We'll raise it up to all that it can be. We'll raise it up so it can do a thingy. No, let's not raise it up. I've changed my mind again. I think we'll keep it at that level. I'll figure something else out for that. Because I am the wind beneath its wings. I don't think that's how it goes, does it? Something like that. It's an old song. You probably heard it. It's a pretty famous one, right? I don't even know when it's from or who it's by. We'll just make this smaller and then we'll have better control. If only that were true. There we go. Oh. Silly me. Now, I also want... Why won't it let me select this one? Is it part of a different building or something? The fuck? Oh, I see. I see what's happened. They've all... Yeah. I mean, that was my fault, clearly, but... I mean, it's not my fault. Nothing's ever my fault. It was... Who should we blame this time? Should we blame immigrants again? Should we blame, I think we should blame the Jews. Blaming the Jews always seems to be a good one. It was the international cabal of child-eating Jews who secretly control the world. That's who did it. Not me. There may be video evidence of me making a mistake, but I refuse to accept that, and I will continue to blame someone else. Because that's apparently acceptable behavior these days. I think from here on, we're gonna have to like do something. Probably a good idea to break up the pattern of this anyway. And I think we'll have a thing go off this way too, right? Or somewhere around here, because this is the edge of this exhibit. Do we still have like a million dudes walking? All our dudes are still walking in and out of this store. Yep, every single employee of the park spends all day, every day, walking in and out of this gate. I love that. I like how well the simulation works in this game. Look, we're not playing it the way it's intended to be played, I guess. We can give them that. Whoa. Okay. Do we use this? I kind of like that. The fact that this comes just with its own bits. Let's put one here. I do wish there was just like an eyedrop button. Because I always forget to blink and then eyes hurt, so I wish there were an eyedrop button where I could just eyedrop this onto that so that the colors on this just go straight onto that. That would be great. Instead of having to do this. Which is quite time consuming. I mean, it's not that time consuming considering all the other things I do in this game. But this is like a boring time consuming job. Just clicking some buttons. There's no creativity to it. There's no like... Oh, fuck. Okay. The lack of eyedrop really coming to bite me in the ass there. There's no satisfaction to that one, right? Whereas lining two things up, very satisfying, apparently. I don't like how it doesn't line up properly. It's a bit dumb. Like if you line the side up, then the steps don't line up. Why would the international Jewish conspiracy to eat all the children do this to me? It's always Jewish too. They were like conspiracy theories always find some way to blame the Jews for it. No matter what. No matter what it is, they're always somehow involved, aren't they? I'm not sure how much I like this thing, considering it doesn't line up properly, but I guess you don't really notice. Conspiracy theory, morning Flugel. Welcome. Herzlich willkommen. Or, yokoso. How else can we say welcome? Bienvenidos. I've run out of languages. Those are the only languages in the world, I think. The ones that I've just used. There's only like 3 or 4 languages that I've ever heard of. Herzlich Glückwunsch. Glückwunsch. That's a different one. Nice. I like that. The fact it doesn't line up properly is a real but. I think we need to use a different texture on these. Which means we need to line them up again. Interestingly, they line up better with this one. I probably just didn't align this one very well, this bottom one. Just these little buttons wouldn't get in the way of what I'm trying to look at. That looks about right, doesn't it? You know at least 2 languages. You know half the languages. What should the official language of the UN be? You want the real answer or the funny answer? I think, realistically, it should just be English, shouldn't it? It's the most widely spoken language in the world. The people don't like doing anything that requires effort, so just using a language which a lot of people already speak is probably the smartest choice. But what if it were Quenya? That would be cooler, wouldn't it? Both. How about Esperanto? Well, the Esperantists are just like, right now they're just pogging out in their minds like, oh my god, Esperanto mentioned! Holy shit! Some international auxiliary language would be a better choice. I think English needs some work if they want to really use it as an international language. It needs spelling reforms for start. That's the most important thing you can do to English. Give it some spelling reforms. And probably just make it a bit more simple. Then again, you don't really need to do that, do you? I think just some spelling reforms are the main thing. Maybe fix up some of the irregularities and things which make it harder to learn. I mean, other good choices are maybe, I guess the other most widely spoken languages, so Spanish. I'd say Mandarin because it's spoken by a lot of people, but it's not really spoken by very many people outside of China. So it's not really a very international language, and it's got the same problem as English, but much worse in that its spelling is absolutely atrocious. The spelling has no relation to the I said something nice about Chinese and then said something. Speaking of social credits, you would not believe who was in my dream last night. I dreamt that I was part of a group that was putting on a play for a visiting dignitary from overseas, and that visiting dignitary was Xi Jinping. And some people who were part of putting it on wanted to intentionally put on a really bad play just to like kind of snub him, to like, as a fuck you to Xi Jinping. But I wasn't informed of that, I guess. I didn't know that. So I was trying to fix all the things that they'd done they'd done wrong. It was quite stressful. But obviously I did know that because I knew that. But the character of me in the dream didn't know that, I guess that's how it works. Chinese overlords are taking back the credits. Right now there's no governing body of the English language. Yeah, which is a bit of a problem for English, isn't it? It means it's very hard to get any spelling reforms done, because who's gonna do it? The trouble is, I guess, that there's two main competing dialects of English. There's British/Commonwealth English, and there's American English, and neither of them are ever going to agree to use the other side's version of English, are they? Like, that's a pipe dream. Yeah, maybe America will collapse. Maybe Britain will collapse. Maybe both of them. I mean, both of them are looking pretty bad currently, aren't they? Like, between Brexit and Trump. I don't know which one is doing worse. Collapse of the Anglosphere. That would be a pain in the ass. Then I'd have to learn a new language. I'm happy having English be the default language of the world because it means I don't have to think. It means I don't have to worry about nothing. Never have to learn another language, you know. The thing is, even if both Britain and the US collapsed, I think English would still remain a big important international language because a lot of people have already gone to the effort of learning it, right? And there's a lot of places where it's used, you know, thanks to the largest empire in the world it having only fairly recently collapsed and, you know, it being the language of that empire. Is that lined up? Seems lined up enough for me. Good enough for Barry work. BRICS is having talks about a new world currency to replace the dollar. BRICS is the joke. It's a couple dictatorships and like a few countries that feel like they can sidle up to the dictatorships and it will gain them some kind of political power or